First contact deception. Dr. Sarah Chen stared through the quantum microscope at the sample that would change everything. The Araxian cell structure shouldn't have been able to bond with Earth proteins this way. It was impossible, unless they'd seen Earth life before. She leaned back from the microscope, her lab coat rustling in the silence of her private research station beneath Mount Hood. The Araxians had arrived 6 months ago, with promises of galactic brotherhood and technological advancement. Their ships had appeared over every major city, sleek crystalline structures that seemed to defy physics itself. They'd brought gifts, clean energy systems, medical technologies, and the promise of FTL travel once Earth joined their alliance. But this discovery changed everything. Computer, compile comparison analysis between sample A113 and all Earth-based cellular structures, Sarah commanded, her voice steady despite her racing heart. The quantum processors hummed to life, comparing the alien sample against the complete database of Earth's biosphere. The results appeared on her holographic display: 99.7% adaptation compatibility with Earth-based life. The Araxian's cellular structure was perfectly designed to integrate with Earth's biology. Too perfectly. Sarah's hands shook as she initiated a secure quantum link to the United Earth Defense Council. This wasn't first contact. The Araxians had been studying Earth's biology for centuries, maybe longer. And they hadn't come to share technology. They'd come to harvest something far more valuable. Admiral James Wong's weathered face appeared on her screen. Dr. Chen, this is unexpected. Your clearance code shows this is urgent. Admiral, I need you to look at these results immediately. The Araxians, they're not what they claim to be. Their biology shows signs of engineered compatibility with Earth life. Extensive compatibility. This isn't natural evolution. It's deliberate design. The Admiral's expression darkened as data streamed across his screen. How sure are you about this? The quantum analysis is conclusive. Sir, I think I know why they're really here. Earth has something unique, the most diverse biosphere ever discovered. We thought they were impressed by our culture, our potential. But they're after our biological diversity, the way their cells interact with ours. They're designed to harvest genetic information. Harvest? For what purpose? Sarah pulled up additional data streams. Their technology isn't just mechanical, it's biomechanical. Those crystalline ships, they're partially organic. I think they need new genetic material to evolve their technology. And Earth is the greatest repository of genetic diversity they've ever found. The Admiral was silent for a long moment. How long have they been watching us? Based on the level of cellular adaptation. Centuries at minimum. Everything about their biology is designed to interface with Earth life. This isn't coincidence. It's a long-term engineering project. And their offer of alliance membership, a cover story. Once we're part of their alliance, they'll have unrestricted access to Earth's biosphere. Their protection would give them complete control over who can visit Earth and what we can do with our own genetic resources. Admiral Wong's jaw tightened. They're not here to help us join the galactic community. They're here to turn Earth into a biological resource farm. Exactly. And sir, those medical technologies they gave us, I've analyzed them. They're designed to subtly alter human biology, make us more compatible with their harvesting systems. Every human who's used their medical tech has been slowly transformed into a better genetic donor. How many people have used their medical technology so far? Over 2 million. Cancer patients, mostly. The Araxians specifically targeted hospitals and research centers with their gifts. Sarah's voice was bitter. Can the process be reversed? I think so. Now that I understand how their cellular mechanisms work, I can design a counteragent. But sir, we need to act fast. The Araxians are pushing for Earth to sign the Alliance Treaty next week. The Admiral nodded grimly. Dr. Chen, I'm initiating Protocol Zero Dark. You'll be transferred to a secure facility beneath the Pacific. We need you to head up a new research division, Find out everything you can about their biology and develop countermeasures. In the meantime, I'll alert the Council. We'll need to stall the treaty signing. Sir, what about the people who've already been affected by their medical tech? One problem at a time, Doctor. First, we need to make sure Earth doesn't fall into their trap. If they realize we've discovered their true purpose, they'll stop playing nice. Sarah finished. Sir, one more thing. The level of biological engineering I'm seeing. I don't think the Araxians work alone. This feels like part of a larger system. Meaning we might be dealing with something much bigger than a single alien civilization. This could be an entire network of worlds specialized in biological harvesting, disguised as a peaceful alliance. The Admiral's expression hardened. Then we'll need to be very careful about how we proceed. Pack what you need, Dr. Chen. A submarine will pick you up in 3 hours. And Sarah, good work. You may have just saved humanity from a fate worse than invasion. As the link closed, Sarah looked back at the quantum microscope. Somewhere up there, in those beautiful crystalline ships, the Araxians were waiting for humanity to willingly walk into their trap. But humanity had something they hadn't counted on. The very diversity they sought to harvest had produced people capable of seeing through their deception. The game was on. And this time, humanity wouldn't be playing by their rules. The hidden protocol. Commander Marcus Webb hadn't slept in 72 hours. The holographic displays surrounding his workstation in the Pentagon's Quantum Computing Center cast an ethereal blue glow across his tired face. Scattered coffee cups and energy bar wrappers littered his desk, the detritus of obsession. You need to see this, he called out to his team. Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka and Dr. Omar Hassan looked up from their own stations. They'd been working around the clock, decrypting the massive data dump they'd intercepted from Araxian communications. Their encryption was good, Marcus continued, his fingers dancing across the haptic interface. But they never expected us to crack quantum computing so quickly. Look at this pattern in their diplomatic transmissions. The main display lit up with streams of decoded data. At first glance, it appeared to be routine diplomatic correspondence. Trade agreements, cultural exchange protocols, standard alliance membership procedures. But beneath that layer of mundane communication lay something else. There, Omar pointed to a recurring pattern in the data stream. That signature, it's not just noise in the transmission. Yuki's eyes widened as she ran the pattern through their analysis software. It's a completely separate channel of communication, hidden within the standard diplomatic protocols. They've been having 2 conversations simultaneously, one public, one secret. Marcus nodded grimly. And wait until you see what they're really talking about. He initiated the decryption sequence they'd spent weeks developing. The hidden messages began to resolve into clear text. The room fell silent as they read. Pages of data detailed the true nature of the Araxian Alliance, a vast network of worlds connected not by mutual cooperation, but by biological exploitation. Each protected member world was actually a carefully managed farm, its unique biological resources systematically harvested to fuel the Alliance's biomechanical technology. Look at these figures, Omar said, his voice shaking. World 317, completely stripped of all unique genetic material within 50 years of joining the Alliance. World 452, indigenous population reduced by 60% through medical advancement programs that altered their biology to be more compatible with harvesting procedures. Yuki pulled up more files. They rate worlds by biological diversity potential. Earth. Earth is rated as a Class 1 resource world, the highest possible value. She paused, reading further. We're not just another target. We're their most valuable find in over 1,000 years. Marcus leaned back in his chair, running his hands through his disheveled hair. Now we know why they've been so persistent with the membership offer. Earth isn't just rich in biological diversity. We're a genetic gold mine. And they've been laying the groundwork for harvesting us for centuries. The medical technologies they gave us, Omar realized. The energy systems, the environmental cleanup protocols. Everything they've given us has been preparing Earth for systematic exploitation. But they made a mistake, Marcus said, a hint of satisfaction in his voice. They thought we were just another primitive world, barely understanding the technology they showed us. They never imagined we'd be able to crack their quantum encryption. What do we do with this information? Yuki asked. The Alliance delegation is expecting an answer on membership within days. Marcus stood up, stretching his stiff muscles. We do what humanity does best. We adapt, we learn, and we prepare to show them exactly how wrong they were about us. He initiated a secure link to Admiral Wang's office. But first, we need to coordinate with Dr. Chen's team. If they're using biological technology, we need to understand exactly how it works. Sir, Omar called out, his voice urgent. I'm finding references to something called the synthesis protocol in these files. It looks like Earth isn't just meant to be harvested. We're meant to be transformed. They're planning to convert our entire biosphere into a biological factory for their technology. Marcus's expression hardened. Download everything. Every file, every communication, every scrap of data we can decrypt. Humanity needs to understand exactly what we're up against. He looked at his team, seeing the same determination in their eyes that he felt. The Araxians think they're dealing with primitive savages who will be grateful for their protection. They're about to learn that humanity doesn't take kindly to being farmed. As his team dove back into their work, Marcus thought about the vast network of alien civilizations waiting to exploit Earth's biological wealth. They had technology, experience, and 1,000 years of successful conquests behind them. But they'd never encountered anything like humanity before, and humanity had something they couldn't comprehend, an unshakable determination to remain free. The quantum computers hummed around them, decoding more secrets with each passing second. Somewhere above, in their crystalline ships, the Araxians waited for humanity's submission. Instead, they were about to face humanity's defiance, and Marcus had a feeling they weren't going to like what was coming. Operation Silent Dawn. Captain Maya Patel stood at the viewport of Facility Omega, watching the Antarctic storm rage outside. The reinforced windows could withstand temperatures of -100 degrees Celsius and winds over 300 kilometers per hour. They had to. What they were building here couldn't afford any disruptions. Latest test results are in. Dr. Chen's voice came from behind her. The xenobiologist had dark circles under her eyes, but there was triumph in her voice. The bioquantum interface is stable. We've done it, Maya. Maya turned from the viewport to face the massive chamber beyond. What had once been an ice cave was now humanity's most advanced research facility. Hundreds of scientists and engineers moved purposefully through the space, working on technology that would have seemed impossible just months ago. Show me, Maya said, following Sarah to the central testing chamber. Inside, suspended in a quantum field, floated what looked like a simple silver sphere. But Maya knew better. This was humanity's answer to the Araxians' biomechanical technology. We reversed their approach, Sarah explained, bringing up detailed holographic displays. Instead of using biological systems to power technology, we're using technology to enhance biological systems. The sphere contains a quantum-entangled neural network grown from human stem cells. It thinks. It adapts. And most importantly, it can't be controlled by their harvesting systems. Maya watched as the sphere pulsed with internal light. How many can we produce? With the automated facilities coming online under the Pacific, thousands per day. The quantum crystals we need grow naturally in the deep ocean vents, another thing the Araxians didn't expect us to discover. A young engineer rushed up to them, tablet in hand. Captain, Dr. Chen. The first shipment of bioquantum shielding is ready for installation. Admiral Wang wants to know if we're ready to begin Phase 2. Maya shared a look with Sarah. Phase 2 would be the point of no return. Once they started upgrading Earth's defense systems with the new technology, There would be no hiding their preparations from the Araxians. Tell him we're ready, Maya decided. How long until they notice? Sarah consulted her own data. Hard to say. We've masked the quantum signatures using the natural atmospheric interference they already expect from Earth. But once we start bringing the major installations online, they'll know something's wrong, Maya finished. But by then, it'll be too late. The next few hours were a blur of activity. Maya moved through the facility, coordinating with teams worldwide through quantum-encrypted channels. Below the Pacific, massive bioquantum processors were coming online. In orbit, seemingly ordinary satellites were receiving their new upgrades, and deep beneath the Antarctic ice, the heart of humanity's defense system pulsed with growing power. "Captain," a voice called out urgently, "we're detecting increased activity from the Araxian fleet. They're scanning the planet with something new, some kind of bioresonance detector." Maya cursed under her breath. They're ahead of schedule. Sarah, the scientist, was already moving, initiating bioquantum masking fields. They might detect some anomalies, but they won't understand what they're seeing. Our technology is too different from anything they've encountered. Warning signals flashed across the command screens. The Araxian flagship was moving into a lower orbit, its crystalline structure gleaming in the sunlight. More ships were appearing through their fold space portals, taking up positions around Earth. "They're suspicious," Maya observed. "Sarah, what's the status of the defense grid?" 60% operational. We need another 12 hours for full coverage." Maya's mind raced through the options. They needed to buy time, but without revealing their hand. She opened a channel to Admiral Wong. "Sir, I recommend initiating Protocol Mendax." There was a pause before the Admiral's response came through. "Approved, Captain. Give them something to chase." Maya allowed herself a small smile as she typed in the command codes. Across Earth, carefully prepared leaks began to appear in their security systems. The Araxians would detect what appeared to be primitive attempts at reverse engineering their medical technology, exactly what they would expect from a species at Earth's supposed level of development. "They're taking the bait," the sensor operator reported. 3 ships are moving to investigate the false signals in Asia, 2 more over South America. "Good," Maya said. "Keep them busy. Every minute we buy gets us closer to completion." She turned to Sarah. "How's the integration with the quantum defense platforms coming along?" "Better than expected. The bioquantum cores are adapting faster than our models predicted. It's like they want to protect us." Sarah's eyes gleamed with excitement. "Maya, I don't think the Araxians understand what they've helped us create. Their own technology is rigid, predetermined. Ours is evolving." Deep beneath their feet, the massive quantum computers pulsed with increasing power. In orbit, hidden defense platforms silently charged their weapons. And across Earth, humanity's new bioquantum network grew stronger by the minute, preparing for the moment when the Araxians would discover just how badly they had underestimated their intended prey. Maya watched the alien ships moving through Earth's orbit, still unaware of what awaited them. "They think they're the hunters," she said quietly. "They never considered that we might be better at adaptation than they are. After all, that's what they wanted to harvest from us. Our ability to evolve, to change, to become something new." Sarah nodded. "And now that very ability is going to be their downfall." The storm outside grew stronger, nature itself seeming to mirror humanity's gathering strength. In 12 hours, the Araxians would learn the true cost of underestimating Earth, and Maya had a feeling the galaxy would never be the same. The Sword of Damocles. High Speaker Varix of the Araxian Alliance stood on the bridge of his flagship, his crystalline form reflecting the light of Earth's sun. Something was wrong. The bioresonance scans were showing impossible readings from the planet below. "Report," he commanded, his translator converting his harmonic speech into something his mixed-species crew could understand. "High Speaker, we're detecting quantum signatures that shouldn't exist," his science officer responded. "The humans, They've somehow developed bioquantum technology. But it's different from anything in our database. Impossible, Verix declared. They're a primitive species. They can barely reach their own moon. But even as he spoke, new data streamed across the ship's organic displays. Deep beneath Earth's oceans, massive power signatures were appearing. In orbit, what they had dismissed as simple communication satellites were transforming, revealing weapons arrays far beyond what humanity should possess. "Sir," his tactical officer called out, "the humans are powering up some kind of planetary defense system. It's blocking our fold space corridors." Verix felt the first tremor of fear. Without fold space access, half his fleet would be cut off from reinforcements. How did they develop this technology without us detecting it? The answer came not from his crew, but from a transmission cutting through their supposedly unbreakable encryption. Admiral Wong's face appeared on their main display. "High Speaker Verix," the human said calmly. "I believe it's time we had an honest conversation about your true intentions for Earth." Verix's crystalline form vibrated with rage. "You dare? You are children playing with technology you don't understand. Stand down your weapons immediately, or face the consequences." "No, Verix. You're the one who doesn't understand." The Admiral's image was replaced by tactical displays showing hundreds of human ships emerging from hidden bases. But these weren't the primitive vessels the Araxians had observed before. These ships pulsed with bioquantum energy, their hulls seamlessly blending organic and technological components. "Impossible," Verix whispered again, but with less conviction. Captain Maya Patel's voice joined the transmission. "You thought we were just another harvest world, didn't you? Another primitive species to be exploited for our biological resources. But you made a crucial mistake. You gave us a glimpse of your technology, thinking we could never comprehend it in time." Dr. Sarah Chen appeared next. "We didn't just comprehend it, High Speaker. We surpassed it. Your biomechanical systems are impressive, but they're static, unchanging. You never understood the true potential of combining biological and quantum systems. Around Earth, the defense grid fully activated. Quantum fields rippled through space, cutting off every fold space corridor the Araxians might use for escape or reinforcement. The human ships moved with impossible precision, their bioquantum cores adapting and evolving even as the Araxians watched. "This is your only warning," Admiral Wong said, returning to the screen. "Withdraw your fleet and acknowledge Earth's independence, or we will be forced to demonstrate just how far we've advanced." Verix drew himself up to his full height. "You think you can threaten the Araxian alliance? We have conquered hundreds of worlds. Our technology is the product of 1,000 years of development. You are nothing but—" His words cut off as one of his ships exploded. Not from weapons fire, but from within. Its biomechanical systems had turned against it, corrupted by a quantum virus that Earth's defenders had developed. "That was unmanned." Maya's voice came through clearly. "The rest aren't. Choose carefully, High Speaker." Verix watched in horror as more of his ships began reporting system failures. The humans hadn't just developed countermeasures, they had found a way to turn the Alliance's own biomechanical technology against them. "How?" he demanded. "How did you advance so quickly?" "We had motivation," Sarah answered. "Your harvesters had already begun altering human biology through your gift of medical technology. We couldn't afford to wait. So we did what humans do best. We adapted. We evolved. We took your technology and made it into something new." The tactical displays showed more human ships rising from Earth's oceans, more defense platforms revealing themselves in orbit. Their bioquantum signatures were unlike anything in the Alliance database, organic technology that lived and grew and evolved. "Last chance, High Speaker," Admiral Wong said. "Withdrawal or engagement? Choose now." Verix looked at the tactical display, at the hundreds of human ships surrounding his fleet, at the planetary defense grid that had appeared as if by magic. They had been so certain of their superiority, so confident in their thousand-year-old strategies of conquest through protection. But they had never encountered a species like humanity before, a species that could take their most advanced technology and transform it into something entirely new in a matter of months, a species that had turned their own biological harvesting techniques into a weapon against them. And for the first time in his long life, High Speaker Verix of the Araxian Alliance knew true fear. Evolution's children. The silence in Earth's orbital space lasted exactly 37 seconds. High Speaker Verix's crystalline form shimmered as he made the hardest decision in his 1,000-year career. Stand down all weapons, he ordered his fleet. Initiate emergency protocols. But when his ships tried to activate their fold space drives to retreat, nothing happened. Earth's bioquantum defense grid had created an impenetrable barrier around the solar system. They were trapped. Did you really think we'd let you leave? Dr. Sarah Chin's voice carried a hint of steel beneath its scientific calm. After what you plan to do to our world. After what you've done to hundreds of other species. The main display shifted to show images from the Araxian database that Commander Webb's team had decrypted. World after world, stripped of their biological uniqueness, their populations altered and harvested to fuel the Alliance's biomechanical empire. You don't understand, Verix protested. The galaxy needs order. Structure. Our system has maintained peace for thousands of years. Peace. Admiral Wong's laugh was bitter. You call genetic enslavement peace. You alter entire species, transform whole biospheres into factories for your technology. That's not peace. It's conquest by another name. Captain Maya Patel's voice joined the conversation. But we're offering you a choice, High Speaker, something you never gave your other victims. Around Earth, the human fleet's bioquantum cores pulsed with growing power. But they weren't charging weapons. Instead, they were creating something new, a network of living energy that spread through space itself. What are you doing? Verix asked, unable to hide his fascination as his sensors tried to analyze the phenomenon. Dr. Chen stepped into view on the main screen, her eyes bright with the excitement of discovery. We're showing you what you could have learned if you'd approached Earth as true allies instead of farmers looking at livestock. Watch. The bioquantum network expanded, touching the Araxian ships. But instead of corrupting them as the earlier quantum virus had, this energy began to transform them. Their rigid crystalline structures became more fluid, more alive. Your biomechanical technology was a dead end, Sarah explained. You took living systems and forced them into unchanging patterns. We found a way to let technology and biology evolve together, grow together. Your ships, they can be so much more than prisons for harvested life. Verix watched in amazement as his flagship systems began to respond in ways he never imagined possible. The ship felt aware. Not just functional, but truly alive. This is impossible, he whispered. No, Maya countered. This is evolution. The very thing you've been trying to harvest and control. But you can't control evolution. You can only work with it, grow with it. Admiral Wong's expression was stern but not unkind. So here are your options, High Speaker. You can resist, in which case our defense grid will ensure that no one in the Alliance ever knows what happened to your fleet. Or, Verix found himself asking. Or you can learn. Work with us. Help us free the worlds you've harvested and show them this new way. Together, we could transform the Alliance from an empire of exploitation into a true federation of growing, evolving civilizations. The bridge of Verix's flagship was silent as the implications sank in. His entire society was built on the idea of controlling and harvesting biological advancement. But these humans, they had found a way to merge with it, to grow with it. Their technology wasn't just alive, it was living. Before he could respond, urgent signals began coming in from across the Alliance. Other worlds, watching through quantum-entangled networks, had seen everything. The secret of the Alliance's protection was exposed, and more importantly, they had seen humanity's alternative. Your empire is already changing, Sarah said gently. The only question is whether you'll change with it. Varix looked at his ship's new systems, felt the potential humming through them. For the first time in centuries, he felt something his crystalline form had forgotten was possible. Hope. Perhaps, he said slowly, it is time for the Alliance to evolve. Above Earth, human and Araxian ships hummed together in space, their bio-quantum signatures harmonizing as the defense grid slowly powered down. On the surface, in facilities around the world, scientists and engineers prepared to share their discoveries with a galaxy that had forgotten how to grow. And in her lab beneath Mount Hood, Dr. Sarah Chen smiled as she looked at the first sample that had revealed the Araxians' deception. They had come to harvest Earth's biological diversity, never imagining that this diversity, humanity's greatest strength, would instead transform their entire civilization. The age of harvesting was over. The age of evolution had begun. In the centuries that followed, historians would mark this moment as the beginning of the Great Transformation, when humanity's gift for adaptation changed not just Earth, but the galaxy itself. The former Alliance worlds, freed from their biological prisons, flourished in ways their conquerors had never imagined possible. And Earth. Earth became known not as a resource to be harvested, but as the birthplace of a new way of life, where technology and biology danced together in endless evolution, reaching always toward something new, something greater, something free.